What's an iPod? um, about 10 days ago, I bought my very first MP3 player, a Sony Walkman, not the cassette type. Actually, I have not had a lot of digital recording that I walk around with something stuck in my ears. I love listening to recordings. I try to surround myself with multiple recordings, especially of a large roll if I'm in the middle of one, and I have done so with the Barber of Seville. The one that was of choice this time was Capecchi as Bartolo. It's been sort of surrounding my ears. And for other listening pleasure, I think Jacques Brel's always in there somewhere. Makes me feel good. Potpourri, a lot of jazz, classic jazz. Wow, heroes. Where there are great musicians and there are great singers, and sometimes they come together, and I can appreciate bits from all of them. For me, the coming together of somebody who really did it all, one of them would be Jose Van Dam. Of his, I think, hundreds of recordings, there are so many moments that are teaching moments of vocal and musical ability. I really appreciated that. What is my funniest experience in a dressing room? Anytime I've had the pleasure of sharing a room with Sherwood J. Montgomery is always a memorable, funny experience. Probably, and it's not so much a memory as it is a token of a memory that was taken by somebody. I was doing a bus and truck tour of the Merry Wives of Windsor with the National Opera. And we were rumbling through North Carolina somewhere, and half the time you didn't even have a room. You had a hallway to change in. And I was singing Sir John Falstaff, and had this incredible fat suit. And it was just, we had set up the sets, and then we'd have 10 minutes for dinner, and then you'd do your gig. And there was about 30 minutes in between one of the acts or something like that where I had some downtime. So I took off this frightfully hot wig, and I opened my fat suit a bit, and I just sat on the floor, which was my dressing room, and within about 2 minutes I truly was asleep, and a couple of fellow cast members caught a couple of shots, so I think that that holds in my memory. I think we all want to sing more. Always want to sing more. There's definitely repertoire that I've never had the opportunity to touch, and I would like to have done that other than just my own singing to myself with the vocal greats that I turn on the CD player. So I think having the opportunity to do certain repertoire that I've just never had. Wagner, I've never had the chance to do on stage. Interestingly enough, Strauss is a composer, an operetta composer. I've just never had the chance to, or the privilege to put into my body. Jack and Leon approached me shortly after The Daughter of the Regiment, a couple seasons ago, about this role, and intrigued me. Emily and our Rosina, had such a good time in The Daughter of the Regiment, and they thought it would be a fun pairing to have us come back this time as mentor and daughter, with a slight twist, because I do get a little lecherous towards her a bit, but not really. It's her dower I am lecherous again before. But in any event, that intrigued me because Emily and I got on so well, and I know that will be the case during this production as well. It's a good question. It's a hard question. The romantic in me thinks that always being like not a travel agent, but a tour guide that has become so well versed in all these wonderful romantic destinations that you go to and just travel and eat and converse with friends, albeit maybe short-lived ones. I can cheat and say Denmark because as a 17-year-old, I was a foreign exchange student living a year in Denmark. Walking into a completely functional social democracy where cradle to grave is taken care of was quite an eye-opening experience, as I was moments away from sort of entering my own adulthood and going to college and considering all those difficult questions that one has to face. And I loved that year in Denmark. That experience was rich, and I still have friends and family that I have kept in touch with for over 25 years. I've always joked and said I'm an opportunivore when it comes to anything that is served to me on the table, be it food or beverage. And I really do enjoy good food and good drink, and I rather relish that. And if I wouldn't have to continually buy new clothes, I think I would indulge far greater than I do. That's a good question. I guess a spirit, a real sense of life and living in the moment, the joie de vivre maybe. Though of course that has gotten tempered now that I've added a child into my life. There was a wonderful coach I had in college, and after one of his exercises, he was actually very ill with Parkinson's, so he didn't have a lot of mobility. But one of the things he would do from his chair in the audience was when he was watching you on stage and you did something that just worked and it was a moment of truth, he would just do this wonderful gesture with his arms, and he would, under his breath, you would hear him go, yes. And so I would like people to hopefully have experienced yes moments with me, because those are the moments I hope to try to experience for myself. I don't think significantly. I probably get inspiration from him because as I'm rehearsing things around the house, and he'll be poking fun at me either by saying things like, "Papa, no singing, too loud," or I think I take every opportunity to sing with a little greater relish and pleasure, because it really is, the moment is here and now, and it may be the last moment, and something may happen where I don't have another opportunity to do that or that role. And I think living in the moment has been heightened by the experience of living, raising, becoming part of the life of a child.